Coming to you from sunny Orlando, Florida, welcome to the Paperstac podcast, where we cover current topics in the note industry, give you tactics for your note business, and talk with industry leaders to make you a better note investor. And now, your hosts, Brett Burky and Rick Allen.
Okay, welcome back. This is a Paperstac snackable / podcast. Not really sure where we're going with this.
It's going to be short. There's not a whole lot to cover.
It's going to be short, but there is something we have to cover before we dive in. And the problem we ran into was we've got these huge monitors and these huge boxes, and we reorganized our closet. And we put all these boxes up there in the closet, and I left. Then Brett shut the door.
Oh, come on. It's not my fault.
And all the boxes fell, and the door opens in. So we couldn't get into the door, and we had to figure out a way in.
The only way in was Rick literally broke the door down.
I felt like Wreck-It Ralph.
You broke it in half, man. Like the Kool-Aid guy. What's his name? Oh, yeah!
Well, here's a picture you can see of the end result. It's worked out good.
Yeah.
So, what do you got for us, Burky? What are we diving into?
This one's short, but I've seen this a couple times. And today something was even new, and I was like, I've never seen that. Where, people are used to purchasing a mortgage note or a deed of trust, but those seem to have a lot of the same material when you get to the collateral file.
You mean documents?
The documents, yeah. When you're in the audit process, they're looking for the same things. But we have one come through today where it's a contract for deed, and the buyer's like, well, where's the title policy? Where's the note? What's this? And you had to point out to me that, sometimes in contracts for deeds, the note's included in the verbiage. And it's like, I had no clue. And there's no title policy. So my questions are just a couple. Is this common? Or is title policies never included? And why? And, is there actually sometimes, sometimes there is a note with a contract for deed, right? So
sometimes. Okay, so let's start there. We'll start with title policy, yes, at first. So, title policy. It's not often that you find a title policy, not saying you never do, but you don't, it's not uncommon to not find a title policy with a contract for deed, especially if that contract for deed has been sold 2 or 3 or 4 times. Because the difference between a mortgage, when you're assigning a mortgage, you're just literally assigning the mortgage. You're not affecting the chain of real estate title, right? And so you'll have a title policy on there, and the title policy says it's from this date backwards, right? Mm-hmm. So from the date of the purchase back, they're saying you've got clean title.
Right.
So, but you're just transferring you're just, whenever you sell the mortgage, you're just assigning the mortgage or the deed of trust.
Right.
Whenever you do a land contract, you're assigning the land contract, but you're also generally
assigning the deed.
The deed transfers, right? And so every time you transfer the deed, the prior that title policy is no good.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's now a new addition in the chain of title, and you got to go ahead and get a new policy. So if you find one that's been assigned 3 or 4 times, people are just not doing it. They're just not getting those title policies.
But then even if they were to get a title policy, it only covers from their purchase.
Their purchase back.
Right. But then if I bought it from you, I'd have to get one.
You have to get a new title policy.
So is it standard?
If you want to have it. Because it's not going to assign forward. Because you got to remember, title policies are from this date backwards for the title.
I get that. And so is it beneficial, is someone buying a CFD to always get a title policy? Do you do it?
No, I don't.
And why not?
Because I'll order title, I'll order O&Es, but then it's like, $700, another $700 expense. Yes, you could do it, but
you already looked at everything, you can see everything's clean.
Right.
So it wouldn't really matter if something's dirty way back there anyhow. It doesn't matter because you can't protect against from that back anyhow. You can only protect from where you were to.
Yeah. So I mean, if there were some massive flaw in title that you ordered a policy and they actually wrote the policy and didn't catch it, then you could have a title claim. But most of the time what will happen is that title companies are not in the business of writing out title claims. So they do a pretty good job of searching title. And if they find something, they'll write you a policy, but there's going to be what's called the exceptions list. And so they say, well, you can have a title, but I'm not covering anything that relates to these two incidents. Stuff like that. So that's why you don't be alarmed if you go look at, you go to buy something and there's no title policy there.
All right.
The note.
Yeah.
The promissory note. So sometimes there's a promissory note, sometimes there's not.
Okay.
If there's not a promissory note, you can't find one. You want to look and read through the land contract, because generally what you'll see language that you would find inside the mortgage note or inside of a promissory note,
Right.
baked into the contract for deed. So it's all kind of one land contract for deed. They just kind of put everything together. So you'll see stuff like the payment amount, the interest rate, maturity date, stuff along those lines. Those are kind of the ones that are like, there's probably not a note, because generally you're going to find the payment amount and the interest rate is going to be on the promissory note.
Okay.
So if you don't see a promissory note as a separate document and you dive in there and you start looking at the contract for deed or land contract and it's got that kind of language in there inside the contract for deed that references the interest rate, that references the payment amount, maybe a default rate, stuff along those lines, that's how you know it's like, okay, this has got language baked into the land contract that I'm not necessarily needing a
Original note.
a promissory note. Now, that brings me to how do you transfer that? I still see people do allonges even though there's not a promissory note. Right? So they'll do an assignment of seller's interest in a land contract and an allonge to that. I don't have a right or wrong answer on that one. I would think the assignment of seller's interest kind of covers it. But some people have got the allonge and it might be a useless piece of paper. It might be just as valuable as toilet paper. I don't know. But
Interesting.
Yep.
Toilet paper 2020 or toilet paper today?
Valid question, my friend. I would say toilet paper today because it was a high commodity.
It's a high commodity before.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing that I find that's really kind of funky with contracts for deeds is sometimes they're warranty for deed, but you can transfer that with a quitclaim deed. Or can you?
A warranty deed, yeah, or a special warranty deed.
Right.
Yeah, you probably should get a special warranty deed is what you should get, or a warranty deed. You can do a quitclaim deed, but I know Jeff Watson would, Watson Legal, or Jeff Watson Legal, whatever it is, would say differently. I would say definitely go talk to your attorney about that. Find out which one you should get.
To be safe, you could probably just get a special warranty deed.
Yeah, you're not going to go wrong with a special warranty deed. So
that's interesting. Okay, and then I guess it was that, and then the title policy, and I think that was pretty much everything. Is there anything else with the quitclaim deed, or just a contract for deed that you're not going to find in a collateral file that you would? I mean, there's a lot more paperwork I find in a mortgage.
Yeah, you're not going to find the origination package, which will have the the loan app. It's just the reality is when somebody does a contract for deed or a land contract, it's a little bit more mom and pop like, less institutionally originated. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to have all the I's dotted and T's crossed. So you may miss out on the loan application, the disclosures, anything like that would, you're also probably not going to have great payment history, maybe probably not going to have servicing notes.
Yeah, no, I've seen some that have come through.
You should have an insurance policy still.
Yeah, I've seen some that have come through where they had to skip the audit because they're just like, look, what do you want me to send me? It's all digital. There's none of this was signed with wet ink. Just
yeah.
The buyer's cool with it. We're cool with it.
Yeah.
So, Okay, I know that's kind of a short one. That's a very snackable one.
Yes,
But, I
enjoy
mean,
the snackable.
That's one that I needed those questions answered because those are important.
Because you answer them a lot.
Because I
answered it today.
Yeah, I get that a lot. What else do we got? I mean, there's some conferences coming up this fall.
Yes, conferences. We're actually going to. Brett's going to. I won't be there. I'll be out of town. Brett is going to be going to Node Expo in Dallas. We're having a bit of a contest, so here, right below, in the show notes, there's a link that you can go sign up for Node Expo. Help Paperstac win the contest. That'd be great. We'll be, I think, finally. At Node Expo, we're going to be unveiling.
God, I hope so.
We're going to be unveiling nodeclosings.com to where you are going to want to see that. So it'd be a really good thing to go there just to see the nodeclosings.com. Go,
that'd be fun.
Sit down, have a beer with Brett. I think we'll do that. A beer with Brett.
It's going to be. It has a nice ring with it.
It does have a beer with Brett.
Yeah, and get a shirt.
And get a shirt if you've ever been there.
We've got all sizes. We did inventory of the shirts we had, and I was like, we got a lot of shirts. It's like a shirt store in here.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot of colors. It's the pinks,
It's a salmon.
It's a salmon.
It's supposed to be our Paperstac orange. It looks a little peachy, but
Salmony.
Salmony, whatever. It's all right. It looks good. But yeah, definitely sign up for that.
IMN events coming up. 5-star events coming up. I don't think we're going to be making it to either of those two.
There's a noteworthy that's coming up this month.
It's in Orlando?
It's in Orlando.
Yes.
So it's at 22nd, I think.
Are we going to go to that one?
Yeah. I'm going to go
to that one. I know. Well, it's right here. So it's finally we get a 20-minute drive to show up.
That's nice. Sleep in my own bed when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Go home. But that's that. Yeah. So sign up for the conferences. We'll put links below, and we'll keep bringing these things out. When I hear the questions, he gives the answers,
That's it. That's how you know Brett's done. Well, that's that. Whenever if you're ever talking to Brett and he goes, that's that, it means, hey man, I'm done.
That's it, yeah.
All right, we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.